it's been open season on drummers. You know, it seems like a very short period that Ginger Baker, Neil Peart, Charlie Watts, and now Taylor.
Mm.
And it's just not right. You know, Neil Peart and Ginger Baker, one of the last recordings he did was right there. He came over one afternoon and he was kind of ailing. He was here with his daughter. He played for 1 minute, which is, by the way, is on YouTube, The Sacred Grove. Wow. And then he sort of finished, and 20 minutes later, the paramedics arrived and wanted to take him to hospital. You can old fuck. Oh, if I'm not going to know, fucking old spit. Oh, he said in its kindly tones. But Neil, he knew it was coming. In fact, it took about 2 years longer than expected. At one point, he says, dude, I am past my sell-by date by a year. And then he carried on for another year. But so he saw it coming. He made his peace. He was all adjusted, and everybody, you know, his close friends were with him.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. It was really a first-class ticket. He saw his train coming. But Taylor, for God's sake, that guy was so pulsing with life, so here now, just vibrant, so unstoppable, that it was really a shock. For me personally, I just come off stage with the National Symphony. Great show. I'm all pumped up. And I get this news right as the endorphins are squirting out of every pore. I get that news. I just couldn't believe it. There's a reception afterwards, room full of people. Hey, you're great. You know, I had to kind of just like not believe it until I got back to my room. Oh God, no, it just ain't right.
Right.
You know? And all the people who knew him, his buddies, of which there were many, we're all just texting back and forth going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
It's so much outpouring of love too, though. You know, I mean, it's every time somebody like that passes away, it's crazy because I'm sure his inner circle and his close friends and people like yourselves and whatever, you know, you express that kind of thing. Do you feel when that happens, you're like, God, I wish they could have seen this kind of thing, you know, when they were alive? It's a feeling I sometimes have, but you know, comics that pass and stuff like that, which when all these great stories come out, I'm like, did they know, did they know they touched everybody's life this way?
I think the one with the least idea of how important he was would be Taylor. I mean, Neil knew that he was a professor and that, you know, all he had to do is play a show and there's 80,000 people air drumming every lick. And same with Charlie and same with Ginger Baker. But Taylor was such a fanboy, it never crossed his mind that he himself is a big deal. Because he, you know, whenever I'd hang out with him, he'd be wearing his Police t-shirt. You know,
that's awesome.
Go hang out with Neil and he's wearing his Rush t-shirt. He just was he was lit up by the whole thing of it, and I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
But both him and Dave and the rest of them, not, you know, and the rest of them, they're absolutely a very humble band, and which makes them a very easy hang.
Did you talk to Dave right when it happened? Do you make that phone call? Do you give people space when it happens?
Space
is best.
Space is best. He's got people calling. I've got people calling.
Yeah.
I could use some space, but nothing like Dave's going through. Right. And there's another thing that I remember with Neil. When he first passed, I got a call from his roadie that afternoon. And that night, the band, family, crew, gathered in a restaurant in Venice Beach. And I had seen it coming. I felt that it was a full ride, a full life, well lived. And I was full of, you know, I was kind of upbeat about it. But I get there, and the people who are with, because I just hang out with them occasionally, but the people who he's in their lives every day, his wife, his crew, Alex and Getty, they were just, you know, blown away, even though they also saw it coming. But just this hole in their life suddenly, okay, cut to 2 weeks later, the memorial service. By now, it's sunk in. The professor is gone. You know, the no more hang at the Bubba Cave. You know.
Yeah.
And it really started to get to me. And at the memorial, his family and closer people had kind of begun to deal with it, and we're able to smile again at the memory of his life. And there was, in fact, there was, Dwayne, Jethro Tull's drummer, and Taylor, Chad Smith, Denny Carey.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a crap name dropper because I can never remember any of my best friends' names. I would be absolutely terrible. I can just remember that guy who played in.
We'll blame it on the curse of this show.
Lamenting, we all kind of were feeling it by that time, whereas Geddy and Alex were kind of comforting us by that time.
Right. We'll blame that on the curse of the show, by the way. Literally every guest we've had on cannot remember one very obvious thing. I do the same shit. I don't know what it is, but it's time of day or whatever it is. But everyone's like, what's my mother's name?
Yeah.
Dystopia tonight.